When was the last time you sat down with just your thoughts? And I want you to really think about this because this idea has been in my head for a while now. It's that creativity is linked to boredom, right? So if we're always using our phone, always listening to music, always being preoccupied by something, then when are we ever bored? When do we ever just sit down with our thoughts? And I think that's what we're missing now. I think we're in an age where everybody needs to be distracted. We are missing creativity, and we're in a society now where everyone needs to consume. Everyone needs to over-consume everything. And there are people out there who push for this too. They push and they push and they want people to consume more and they want less creativity. And that's the opposite of what we need. We need more creativity. They take this away at school too. They take away our creativity. They make us workers. They make us obedient. They give you a math problem and they say there's one way to solve it. They give you a reading assignment at school. Well, the teacher is looking for specific answers. And if you don't give those specific answers, she's not going to give you credit. She wants something specific. They want you to see certain things. They don't want you to use your imagination. They don't want you to use your creativity. They want you to be obedient. They don't want creativity. And I've heard that not using your creativity could lead to depression. I've heard that creating things helps people get out of depression. Overconsumption is bad for us. It's really bad for us, and it's way too normalized. We have to start creating anything, Start drawing, start writing, make YouTube videos like me, like I just started. I'm having fun with it. It's a lot of fun that I'm having. And I think this is really important now during summer that kids are out of school, We need to be creative. We can't just sit there and watch TV all summer or play video games all summer. Video games are still, they're consumption, but they're I think it's called active consumption, where you are still engaged with it. Whereas when you're on TikTok or whatever, you're just scrolling. That's straight consumption. But we need to be creative. We need to sit down alone with our thoughts. And I think a great way to do this is journaling, honestly. I used to do it. I've always kind of dabbled in it, but I've never stuck with it. I think I'm going to start it back up soon. But it's really important that we just sit in boredom sometimes. It doesn't even have to be long. Just 10, 20 minutes, sit down by yourself. No phone, no music, nothing. Boredom is so important. I mean, just think about how it was 200, 300, even 100 years ago, before we had such easy access of entertainment, of distracting ourselves, of distracting our brains. You know what Albert Einstein said about boredom? Creativity is a residue. Creativity is a residue of time wasted. And that's about boredom. Time wasted is boredom. He is saying what I'm saying. The smartest man, one of the smartest people to ever live, and he's agreeing with what I say. He's agreeing that creativity comes from boredom. And let me tell you, he didn't create all the things that he did because he was distracted, because he was preoccupying his mind with things. No, he was bored. He did that stuff because he was bored. He got creative. He thought of ways to make things, and he made it because he was bored. How is it that we're gonna have a bunch of stuff already? We're gonna have a bunch of stuff. We've spent a lot of money on phones, on laptops, and we're gonna continue to spend. We already have iPhones, yet every year they release a new iPhone. And you know why? Because people buy them. There's zero upgrades to them. Ooh, the camera's slightly better. Whatever. Zero upgrades. And every year there are people who will buy them. Why? Why? Your iPhone from 2 years ago is perfectly fine. It works perfectly. You don't need a new phone. It does everything you need it to do. it distracts you enough already. You don't need a new phone. Why do we keep giving them money? Sorry, I'm getting off track from the video, but we need to. And I think that kind of leads into my thought that I'm trying to have here is that if we're more creative, we'll spend less because we won't feel like we need to get away from ourselves, like we need to get away from our thoughts. We'll feel more comfortable being alone, not having stuff, not needing resources because we're also creative enough to use what we already have. Or maybe that's just being resourceful. I don't know, man. I'm yapping, okay? I'm yapping. And another thing is that I think we need to start pushing what we have to the absolute limit. Your old pair of pants, just keep using them until they're worn down. And I'm talking like beyond worn down. Even when they get a hole, like stitch it up, Because I've noticed, and it just keeps happening as the years pass, it's like more and more of our stuff is becoming worse quality. It's decreasing because they know that they can make worse things. So I've been more so trying to buy used stuff. Like I recently got a keyboard and my mom was trying to convince me to buy a new one. And I was like, why am I going to buy a new one when it's going to break in a couple years? Why not buy a used keyboard that's, yeah, sure, it's 20 years old, but I know it's going to keep going. It's already lasted 20 years. It's not going to all of a sudden break. It's going to keep going. Whereas you look at these new anything, and it'll break so fast. They designed them to fail. Like iPhones, I'm pretty sure they program it so that after a couple of years, it just gets worse. I don't even know how they do it, but they're designed to fail. That's how they are. The faster they fail, the faster someone will need to replace them. Now, where do you think they're going to go? The same place, the same brand, same company, because they know it works. All right, well, I kind of got off topic, but whatever. Just plan 20 minutes a day to sit there, to be by yourself, be alone with your thoughts. The next time you shower, don't listen to music. Don't have a video on or anything. Learn to be comfortable, bored. Don't feel like you always need to distract yourself. Because you don't. It's not good for you. And I have definitely fallen into this pit. It's a little different for me, though, because I am comfortable with myself. I am comfortable listening to my thoughts. I am comfortable writing them down. But I always feel like I need to be watching something. Like I need to be playing a game. Like I need to have music on. And it distracts me from doing other stuff, from unleashing my creativity. And to be fair, I was never really that creative. But maybe I can start. Maybe you can too. So why not take this journey with me? Put down the phone for a little bit. Be bored. Be creative.